Yo, it's back with another one. I'm thinking I ease up on Fender, man. I'm thinking I ease up because they've been kind of crucified a little bit over the past couple of months regarding the fact that they sent cease and desists to a bunch of other guitar companies and stuff for using designs that are similar to Fender's strat style body, you know. Obviously this is happening because the suits there at Fender are very greedy and they're just looking for absolute control, right? They're just looking to absolutely consume everything, as you know, the heads or the fucking suits of any company does, right? But that aside, you know, that whole move of theirs does highlight the fact that these companies don't have any originality, bro. Like I was just scrolling on Instagram as I do, and then I found like a random reel of a lady going through a a a guitar store. She was just in the guitar store, checking stuff out, and she was like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, check out a new bass. I'm just gonna, try out a new bass." And you'd think like she's gonna, just upon hearing those words, you'd think that she's gonna check out a new bass. You know what I mean? She sits there and it's another P bass, man. It's another Precision. It's another Fender looking bass instrument. And that kind of pissed me off, dude. I was like, how long are we gonna keep doing this, dude? Fender themselves have been, like how you kick a dead horse. They've been kicking themselves as a dead horse for ages now. They've been re-releasing the same bodies over and over, rightfully so because they own them, right? But then they've been, passing them off as if they're new and stuff. When in reality, the only stuff that's new about them is the names and maybe like the colors. But for other, guitar companies to do that kind of, reeks of unoriginality, and I understand why they do it. They're doing it because the Fender bodies sell. It's about time I start really thinking about this, especially as a guy who prides himself on thinking for himself. I don't want to use the word free thinker because at this point in time, it's got like such a negative connotation. It's like the word woke. In essence, in like the proper essence, being woke is great, but it's been bastardized in a way that it just can't come back from unless you force it, unless you actively go, "I'm woke in the real sense," in the real sense. You know, yeah, dude, like these companies need to do something about that, bro. And I need to like really now kind of ask myself what I feel about this. Because I've kind of um banished Fender from my my consideration in terms of anything guitar related. I've kind of banished them. I was like, okay, they're off the table because their suits are pretty, nasty, and they're lame and whatnot. But I need to in the same vein, I need to look at all these other guys, and I need to criticize them for not having original. And I mean original, dude. I'm not talking about slightly different, curves to the fender shape. I mean original shapes, dude. Because I'll be honest with you, dude. I am not at all a fan of the the guitar shapes that we have. the standard guitar shapes, which is why I'm looking into getting unorthodox, um, very out there body shapes for when I start playing guitar again because I haven't been playing guitar for a while. I don't want to play guitar in my mom's house anymore. It's an end of an era. It's time to move on. I've been looking at angel body shapes. I've been looking at custom body shapes. I've been looking at very weird guitar body shapes, and I've been falling in love with them and considering them. You don't have to go for a Strat body, a Tele body, a Jazzmaster body, a, a Mustang body, a Les Paul style body, a double cut Gibson body, a V, a Thunderbird. Like the 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 6 or 7 bodies that are the norm in the guitar world. There are other options out there, and I'm exploring them. You know, as a dude who's just not a big fan of feeling boxed in or pigeonholed. I'm not a huge fan of that. At the same time, though, Fender, I do feel. The more I think about it, I do feel as though, even though they're approaching it from a very greedy standpoint and a very corporate, disgusting standpoint, Fender kind of have like a point. Because a huge reason why they haven't been successful, I've come to learn in the past with like putting copyrights and trademarks and stuff on their Strat bodies or their Strat body, is because the court, whatever that is, has deemed or had deemed the Strat body to be generic, right? And basically free game for everyone. That's the problem, though. That's the problem that we've all kind of just overlooked, because it seems as though we're not very concerned with originality and creativity. Most of us are just kind of going, yeah, it's generic, just let it be, it's generic, everyone can have it. But in saying that, we're kind of overlooking the fact that we're in support of something generic, dude. You get the point that I'm trying to make. How about we try something new, fresh? I know it may seem as though I'm kind of backing Fender a little bit, but I'm criticizing them as well. Like, dude, like I said earlier in this video, dude, you've been re-releasing the same guitars. They're yours, yes, but you've been re-releasing them and then just rehashing them and giving them new names and stuff and passing them off as new guitars, and then expecting people to buy into that when your competitors are doing the exact same thing you are doing, but better than you in terms of like the actual playability. I've heard a lot of guitarists say the Fender copy guitars play better than the original Fenders at times, or most of the time. So no one's really safe here. I'm kind of lecturing both Fender and all these other guitar brands. Does my letting up mean that I'll be buying more Fender stuff? Um, no, no. There are plenty of guitar companies out there. I don't feel the attraction towards Fender at all. Really, the only reason one would feel the attraction towards Fender is because they're popular. I want you to imagine Fender as this, you know, really small company. Are you still gonna feel that need to buy into them, buy into their cables, their guitars, their pedals, their whatever? You're still gonna feel the need to buy into their brand. Chances are no. You feel the need because they're in your face, they're huge, they're what, your favorite artists are using, your favorite players are using, da 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 da. Not because, at least in my case, not because you personally feel that they offer something of value to you as a player, or not even of value, but like like, you, they just don't tug at your heartstrings, to put it simply. Because I couldn't care less if what you were offering was garbage, as long as it tugged at my heartstrings. So yeah, Fender doesn't tug at my heartstrings, regardless of the controversy, regardless of anything. I was never a huge fan of Fender anyway. So no, I won't be buying into Fender because there are plenty of other companies and brands that I really adore and I'd rather support over Fender. Not because of anything they've done. I need to make that clear. Yeah, I just prefer the other ones more. Like them more. So yeah, my main point, let's be more original. At the same time, I get why you'd want to steal, or let's not use the word steal, but I get why you'd want to use Fender's Strat body style, because that's what people, are most familiar with. That's what people think of when they think of guitar. You know what I mean? At the same time, I get why you do it, because you need to eat, bro. You need to produce guitars that the masses like, you know, in terms of statistics and numbers and all of that. So yeah, that's that. Yeah, thanks for listening.